Salt making in Batangas. Batangas salt making has long been a vital livelihood, shaping both the province's economy and culture. Its coastal geography, with shallow bays and long dry seasons, provided the natural conditions that made this tradition flourish for centuries. The industry once stood as both a source of local pride and a pillar of trade in southern Luzon. The earliest accounts of Batangas salt-making industry appear in Spanish colonial records. The Diccionario Geográfico, Estadístico, Histórico de las Islas Filipinas of the 1850s described Balayan as a town producing large amounts of salt, alongside its fishing and agriculture. Salt was central not only to preservation and cooking but also to producing condiments like bagong and patties, staples of Tagalog cuisine. Ethnographic research confirms the deep roots of this practice. Reynaldo Nagac's Ethno-History of Salt-Making in the Philippines, 1999, documented how Batangas followed the classic solar evaporation method. Seawater was poured into pans called irisan which were lined with clay or lime, then dried by the sun until salt crystals formed. The harvested salt was coarse but valued for its purity and abundance. This labor required skill, timing, and resilience. Workers balanced the effects of sun, wind, and rain to ensure steady production. The work was seasonal, tied to the dry months, but when successful, salt yielded steady incomes for families along Batangas Bay. Salt workers became known as magasian, their craft often passed down through generations. Batangas' position along maritime trade routes gave its salt regional importance. Nagac noted that Chinese and Japanese traders valued Batangas salt in exchange for ceramics and other goods. Local records also indicate that the Spanish colonial government taxed salt heavily, recognizing its profitability. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, salt production in Batangas faced a steep decline. Imported salt from other regions, alongside industrial production methods, outcompete local practices. Nagac observed that by the 1990s, very few families continued the tradition, and some salt beds lay abandoned. This decline was not just economic but cultural, as a craft that once defined coastal Batangas slowly faded from daily life. The memory of Batangas salt-making is more than just a vanished industry, it is a story of resilience and adaptation, echoing across the province's cultural memory. In its heyday, it tied Batangas to global trade networks and nourished Filipino cuisine. Today, its traces survive in oral histories and in the few remaining salt beds that stand as quiet reminders of a coastal heritage once central to Batangueño identity.